Hello everyone, Counterspell Hater here, back with another EDH guide. Before we get into today's video, I ask that you show your support uh, in Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for childhood cancer in its fight against childhood cancer, of course. Find out ways on getting involved, ways to give, and donations, of course, which is why you should share this video, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you to 75 of you who are currently subscribed. Hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss another one of my videos. Comment on this video, make a request. You can make an EDH request. For example, the Red Terror Dragons or enchantments. That is not content that is already covered on my channel. And just so you know, in order to make a request, just make sure the content that you want to request has not already been featured on my channel. That the content that you want featured on my channel isn't already featured, because then that make no sense for me to do it over again. With that said, please also share this video so we can get the word out. Help Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Childhood Cancer in their fight against, well, childhood cancer. And so you can help out your fellow peers in their deck building, in their deck building processes. Yes, that's what I mean. Like, subscribe, comment. Also, you can make a request for a standard deck tech, like maybe a deck tech for like a deck that, as I've mentioned in past episodes, has as of recently gotten me to platinum in MTG Arena, and could possibly be tournament legal. It's a pretty good deck. You can also make requests for like MTG Arena content itself. And if you don't want to, show your support. If I can speak today, show your support. Regardless, no, I don't ask much. Just positive feedback. Really like it from you guys. Shows me what I'm doing right. Maybe what I'm doing wrong, but we don't focus on that. But yeah, requests. Just so you know, first come, first serve. With that said, let's get into this EDH guide. So initially, when I looked at this commander, Ghyrson, Starn, Kelermorph, wasn't really fond of this guy. It was like Torban, except blue and red. That's the way I thought of it. But then when I started to think of what I could do with this guy, and once I built this deck, uh, it actually piqued my interest. Not to mention, it also helps that I saw, as of recently, one of the Command Zone, the Game Nights episodes on Command Zone, of course. Uh, their episode on Dominaria United, where one of their players at that session, or yeah, at that match of MTG Commander, one of them was playing a red and black instants and sorceries deck. So inspired by that, I kind of made this, and I found out this actually can be a pretty busted commander if you know what you're doing, because of what it does, which is whenever another source you control deals exactly one damage to a permanent or player, Ghyrson, Starn, Kelermorph deals 2 damage to that permanent or player. So we've got synergies, and this is mostly instants and sorceries. Well, it was until I ran into like other general damage cards. But first of all, to start us off, we have gratuitous violence. Sure, if we have 1/1s, now they're dealing 2 damage. But this is only for creatures, so if we're casting a bunch of instants and sorceries that deal 1 damage, sure, they're going to deal 1 damage. But now Ghyrson, Starn, Kelermorph is dealing 4 instead of his normal 2, because he's the one dealing damage. So if we pair this with something like Shadow Spear being attached to our commander, now we've got Lifelink going, and we can remove Hexproof and Indestructible until in turn from all of our opponents' control. meaning they can't really help but watch as most of their stuff dies. Um, and this will also gain us an insane amount of life, yeah, because we'll be dealing like 1 damage, and then our commander will trigger Ghyrson, and he'll do like 2 damage or 4 damage if we have gratuitous violence. Highly recommend both of these in this deck. Also, Basilisk Collar adding on Death Touch along with Lifelink. Sure, we don't get the same utilities as Shadow Spear, but Death Touch, since Ghyrson, Starn, Kelermorph is the one dealing the damage. Now that damage is going to be Death Touch damage, so now he can start killing 13/13 creatures instead of just like 3/3s or something like that. Then we have Conqueror's Flail. Uh, prohibits our opponents from really messing with our plans on our turn. Then we have Eldrazi Monument, because the style of deck I built around is kind of board wipes. And if we have like Basilisk Collar attached to Ghyrson Starn, and we play like Blazing Volley, since it'll deal 1 damage to each creature, Ghyrson Starn will then deal 2 death touch damage to each creature, wiping the board. And we don't want to wipe our board necessarily. Sure, we'll gain a bunch of life, maybe. Like, this deck can really hurt token players. Like, token players are just gonna have a bad time. Eldrazi Monument is in here to give our creatures +1/+1, flying, and indestructible. Sure, we have to sacrifice stuff to keep Eldrazi Monument around, but not a big deal. Then we have Charmbreaker Devils. Gets our instants and sorceries back, and gets itself really buffed up whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell. Storm Kiln Artist gives us treasures as we cast instants and sorceries, so we're able to cast more and more spells. But we're not really built around instants and sorceries. We're generally built around, at least for this deck, dealing like 1 damage at a time to like a bunch of creatures at one time. So now I'm going to speed through it, and the rest of these cards you're gonna see here are gonna be like a bunch of 1 damage cards, or like cards that create 1/1 tokens, or like, you know what I'm saying. So ready, go. Electrostatic Field. Cast an instant or sorcery, 1 damage to each opponent. Young Pyromancer for 1/1 tokens. Kessig Flame Breather, dealing 1 damage to each opponent. Grape Shot, because we're gonna cast a lot of spells. Common Storm. We pay less in text. In fact, we only want to pay 1 in text and just all into multi-kicker. So then we can target more permanents. Murmuring Mystic for 1/1s in the air. Ral Storm Conduit will deal 1 damage. Pyrohemia. We can just pay mana to deal 1 damage to each creature and player. Starstorm. Pay 1 to deal 1 damage to each creature. Chandra's Ignition. Bleh, I cannot speak. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. Impact Tremors. Our creatures on the battlefield. Impact Tremors is going to deal 1 damage to each opponent. Blazing Volley. Like I said, 1 damage to each creature our opponents control. Oh, so that wouldn't be a problem. Fiery Confluence. This could end up dealing 3 damage split up into ones, since we choose 3, and we may choose the same mode more than once. So if we choose Fiery Confluence does 1 damage to each creature all 3 times, that's going to trigger our commander all of those times for like every permanent that has dealt damage. Because all that damage is dealt like separately as we choose the modes. You get my point, I think. Rain of Embers. 1 damage to each creature and each player. Radiating Lightning. 3 damage to target player and 1 damage to each creature that player controls. Seismic Shudder. One damage to each creature without flying. Tunneling GOP. I cannot speak. One damage to each opponent whenever land enters the battlefield. Hell Rider. Whenever a creature we control attacks, Hell Rider deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Boiling Earth. 1 damage to each creature our opponents control. Savage Alliance. 1 damage to each creature target opponent controls. Zerzoth Chaos Rider for the devils that when they die, they deal 1 damage to any target and are also 1/1s. And for a bunch of chaos as well. Hissing Iguanar. Creatures die, deal 1 damage. Niv Mizzet the Firemind and Niv Mizzet Perun to deal damage as we draw cards. Then Curiosity, we add that in. Now we've got Infinite Combo. If we add this onto our commander, we could also draw a bunch of cards. Satar, Fire Dancer, cast instants and sorceries. Actually, whenever an instance or sorcery spell we control deals damage to an opponent, Satar, Fire Dancer deals that much damage to target creature that player controls. You can get out of hand. Immolation Shaman. And an ability is activated, or no, one of our opponents activates an ability of an artifact, creature, or land that isn't a mana ability, 1 damage. Spitfire Legac, we play a land, 1 damage to each opponent. Thermo Alchemist, 1 tap, 1 damage to each opponent. Cast an instant sorcery, we untap this. Chandra, Awakened Inferno, highly recommend. This will end the game very soon. Because of all those emblems stacking up. Plus, thanks to our +2. Chandra Flamecaller. For the -X, we just -1 to deal 1 damage to each creature. Sarkhan, Dragon Soul, 1 damage to each opponent and each creature our opponents control. Chandra's Incinerator, high recommendation for this deck. Because this spell costs X less to cast, X is the total amount of non-combat damage dealt to your opponent's this turn. Trample 6/6 for 6, or what could be 1 red. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to your opponent, which is what we're doing most of the time, Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls. This can get out of hand fast if we're dealing if we're casting a bunch of spells that deal 1 damage to a whole bunch of creatures and permanents, and or we're just dealing 1 damage at a time in addition to the 2 damage from our commander. Circle of Flame. Let me get this. Where was I? Oh, yes. Circle of Flame. Creature without flying attacks us, 1 damage to that creature. Relic Robber. It deals combat damage to a player. That player creates a 0/1 colorless goblin construct artifact creature token with this creature can't block, and at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. Post Siege. If we choose dragons, whenever a creature we control leaves the battlefield, 1 damage to any target. Kusari Gamma. The equipped creature is blocked, or no, whenever the equipped creature deals damage to a blocking creature, Kusari Gamma deals that much damage to each other creature defending player controls. So we attach this to a 1/1, then deal 1 damage to a bunch of things. Spiteful Prankster. Another creature dies, we deal 1 damage to target player planeswalker. Flameblade Angel. The source an opponent controls deals damage to us or a permanent we control. We can have Flameblade Angel deal 1 damage to that source's controller. Cough of the Hammer. -5. We get an emblem that allows us to tap our mountains to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. This can also ramp us a bunch. Rolling Earthquake. X will pay 1 into X and then deal 1 damage to each creature without horsemanship and each player. And then Ashen Fire Beast. Pay 1 generic and red, 1 damage to each creature without flying. And we can do this over and over again. Sure, the creature itself is expensive, but coming from Odyssey, this is amazing, not to mention a 6/6. Then we have Spinerock Knoll. You know why. I mean, we're going to be dealing more than 7 damage to an opponent this turn. Shivian Gorge. 2 generic and a red, tap it. Deals 1 damage to each of our opponents. Then we have 24 mountains, 24 basic islands. And with that said, the end of this commander guide starring Ghyrson, Starn, Kelermorph. Join Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Childhood Cancer in their fight against childhood cancer, 1 cup at a time. Find information on getting involved, ways to give, and donations using my link in the description, which is why I encourage you to share this video along with other videos found on my channel with other people, so they can receive guidance from yours truly, and so they can also join in this battle against childhood cancer. With that said, please also comment on this video, make an EDH request. Like I said, make sure the content you want to see featured on this channel has not already previously been featured on this channel. So like the Red Terror Goblins or Ghyrson Starn Commander. That is content that has already been featured on this channel. However, something like the Red Terror Dragons or Ghyrson Starn Instants and Sorceries or Goblins, which would also be a great deck because most Goblins are 1/1s. You know, those are slots that can be filled with EDH requests, and I'd be happy to fulfill them. You can also make a request for like any deck text, for like a deck that I have used that could be potentially busted and help you in tournament. Like I have a deck in MTG Arena that got me to platinum. It's decent if you know what you're doing, which you don't really need to know what you're doing at some point. May not be, and it's probably not even that expensive. Most of the deck is, at least what I believe, is commons and uncommons. Not too bad in price, probably. I don't have the actual price, but I have a pretty good idea. It's not that bad. And it may be tournament legal. A few of the cards may not be, but just take some of them out. Now, if like some of the centerpieces are, then, but still, make that request. You can also make requests for MTG Arena content, so like the videos themselves, not just the highlight. Well, maybe the highlights of decks and their performances at their greatest. Or you could just make a comment on this video. Show your support. Show your positive feedback. Really love it from you guys. You know I do. With that said, please also hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss another one of my videos. Blah. Subscribe. Leave a like on this video. Thank you to the 75 of you who are currently subscribed or more. I haven't checked yet. And you can also be one of those people that when I look, I can be thankful that they are subscribed to my channel. Just click subscribe, that's all. So like, subscribe, comment, make an EDH request. First come, first serve, let you know there. Even if you aren't making the request in the comment section of this video, if yours is first, yours is first. So like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and share this video along with other videos found on my channel with other people. With that said, I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.